heard of. Hey everybody, welcome to the Common Folk Podcast with Ben, Morgan, and Andy.
All right.
There it is.
Wow, there's the opener. He was feeling it.
That was a good one. That makes
Where's
me
your opener?
right,
There it is.
Right there.
Yep.
There we go. Now I'm ready.
Right before you hit record, I was yawning. Guys, you're boring me.
Wake up.
Well, we're going to wake you up right now because we got a hot topic. Remember those stores? Hot topic. Yeah,
Yes, at the mall.
And
At
that's
the
kind,
mall.
that's kind of
Hot
what
topic.
that's kind of what we're talking about, right? A little nostalgic.
For real.
They
yeah.
probably still have that.
If they do, I don't know that.
What were you saying? You
Do they
don't
still
shop
have
there?
malls or
Is that
malls
a
a
thing?
big hot topic back in my time. Oh yeah. Whenever I needed a big chain for my wallet.
Right, that's where you went.
Yes.
I honestly think there still is at the mall.
Probably is.
We'll have to
Probably
look
is.
that up.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know, just like what we're about to talk about, I don't know how any of those stores at the mall are staying open.
How are malls staying open?
Right.
I know.
Period.
I think they're all really slowly starting to close, which it is sad because I do remember enjoying going to the mall, but now it's a little bit freaky,
I'm gonna write that down. That'll be a
unsafe,
podcast topic.
could be.
Yeah.
I would rather
Yeah.
go to outdoor malls.
Yep. But I think they're even struggling recently.
I'm sure.
You know,
Yeah.
it's all Amazon, next day shipping, same day shipping. Stay in your house. Don't get out. Don't visit anyone. Don't see anyone. It's
Yeah.
kind of where I just feel like everything's getting pushed that way.
Right? It's convenience. It's just easier.
And convenience, man, that could be a slow death. I mean, in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
So,
For sure.
so Ben, what road are we going down? What are we talking about here?
So I'm a big movie guy. Like I love
Yeah.
watching movies. Like
Yes,
it's pretty
he
much
is.
all I watch.
He'll start them in the middle of a movie. Like it's in the middle, Andy. It's like, oh, I don't need to see this part again. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Ashley can't deal with that. I get yelled at for that.
I don't even care. I'm just like, whatever. But
whatever.
yeah.
So if I'm watching TV, that's pretty much all I'm watching.
Okay.
So the way it works nowadays, it makes it pretty easy because I can pop up Netflix or Amazon or whatever, find just about
Prime.
anything I want. Most of it's included. If it's not, it's $5 or something.
Yeah.
So that's cool. So that's a good thing. But what I wanted to talk about was this, how it used to be, where we would go to these rental stores, and then when all this change happened, and what it's all like now, and
Yeah.
what's the good, what's the bad, that kind of thing. So, where you were growing up, did you guys have a movie rental store?
Yeah, we had movie rental stores. We didn't have a Blockbuster or anything like that. But a lot of the like pizza joints or gas stations would have a movie rental like area set off to the side.
Yeah.
And that was always a big thing. Like when we would go to Spencer and go to Hot Stuff Pizza, like we would make sure that we always went to the Mr. G's, the gas station that had the big movie rentals, and they were video cassette boxes, set on the shelf, and you had to just hope that no one else had that selection rented out, or they had 2 or 3 of the VHS.
So Mr. G's
Mr. G's, yeah,
had video rental in his gas station?
yeah.
Dang. That's
I remember seeing a
pretty
lot
cool.
of gas stations that were like that. The gas station down here at Beaver Lake, I'm pretty sure had it for a while.
Well, I remember being in the city, whatever, Blockbuster, right? But then when I would come out here, small town, there was a video rental place. I don't even know, but then they had
downtown.
They had tanning, 2 tanning beds in the
Ooh,
back, so
wow.
I could go tan. Folks, that was not good for sun damage right now, as I'm 40 years old talking about it, and go tan. Like you can get a movie and then go tanning in the tan bed. Kind of random.
Yeah,
Right? Like
well, I
that's
don't
just how it works, I guess, out here.
Well,
or
I mean, even
back in the day?
even our local bar had a movie rental section.
The bar?
The bar did.
Okay.
Yeah, in town.
I wonder how expensive that was to actually purchase a VHS and then rent it out. It's probably smart. Like back then, it probably wasn't super expensive
Yeah, you
to
probably
do
had
that.
to rent it out 3 times to get your money back.
Yeah,
right.
right.
And then like I remember Lynch's bar, like man, they very rarely got new releases. So
Right.
they got the run.
Yeah, they did. So
and
they didn't want to put out the money to get the new releases.
Right. And when they did, man, everyone was after it, which was fine with me and my brothers, because I remember the first one that we just kept renting over and over was the old school, basically anime Transformers movie. I mean, that's Optimus Prime. I teared up when he died. When Optimus died and got sent out, I was devastated. Thank God he came back to life.
Good thing.
And we just kept, I don't know why, we always just wanted to rent that movie over and over.
Do you remember going to the video store?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Like, was that a treat or a daily, weekly thing?
No. I mean, it might maybe once every other week or something like that.
Yeah.
But the ones that we would go to would have, the different movies, pretty good selection. I felt like, and then all the cool things that you'd want to get, like a bag of popcorn and some candy, and those kinds of things that you would take home with you, so you could have the whole night. I remember walking through there. They'd have the movie cases sitting out. And I can't remember what it was. If there was like some behind it, then that meant it was in stock. And if there wasn't, then it wasn't in stock. Like someone had already rented it out, And you get you'd see one you really want, and you get disappointed, like there's none back there. And then you go talk to the lady at the counter, like, hey, when's this one coming back? And like, oh, these people are supposed to, there's 2 or 3 scheduled to come back tonight, Oh man, maybe I'll wait around a little bit,
Let me check the Dropbox.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
Like
they go
would-
check
yeah,
that. Yeah, pull that out. Yeah.
Sweet.
We used to do that, and then if I was really lucky, my parents would also rent a video game. So it'd either be like the Nintendo game or the Sega game, whatever.
Yeah.
One that I didn't have and wanted to try, and
Yeah.
I learned, though, like, it was just my mentality. It would take more than like 2 days to beat a game. So it was like very frustrating for me because
Oh,
I just knew it was a futile effort. Like,
right. Well,
I would get to see the game or whatever, but I'm never going to get to beat it because I didn't have enough time.
wait,
so
but how many days was that rental? I always forget. Was it
3?
2?
it was usually
3?
just a couple of days.
Okay,
I thought,
and it had to be back when
and
you
I
got
think you
the
could
late
probably
fee.
buy extra days or whatever
Yeah.
you wanted. Yeah, but I mean, we weren't buying extra days. It was like, it needed to be done.
man, I forgot about that kind of a subset there where video games started to be a rental. Then there started to be offshoots of that where like, oh, I'm tired of taking the game back. Ben gets mad. Now you can rent the game for as long as you want.
Yeah.
It was like subsidiary businesses.
I also do remember, talking about all those different things that are in there. I do remember this one that we would go to in particular. It wasn't like a Blockbuster or anything because I think those were more kind of like family friendly, but it was like just a general one-off rental store, and it had the adult videos in the back.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
wait, like you had to open the curtain?
Yeah, it was something like that. Like there was a little door you'd go through or something, and it would, it said like the adult videos.
Did you
or
sneak
whatever.
back there? Is that-
No, I was too afraid to do that, but I was kind of
Curious.
knew what was going on.
Uh-huh.
And then, obviously then later when I got older, I actually knew what was going on. And then I was like, man, I should have been keeping my eye on what these people were doing there, like going in there and renting those movies. But now people can just be weird within the confines of their own house and not even.
Right. But
Yeah.
again, like, I mean, everyone's on the account, right? So you could see who's watching what or whatever, like that.
Yeah.
That doesn't
they
keep it
probably
very
had
private.
Their family
so-
had their own account or whatever, I'm sure. But,
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. But could you imagine, like, it's weird if you go to the counter at the gas station and buy a pack of condoms or something. You know, like,
I mean,
that was weird. But
Yeah.
what would it be like when you're grabbing whatever the name of this
Yeah,
movie
yeah.
is, and you're laying that across the counter, and you're like, yeah, this is a good one.
Backdoor Bandits 8 was really good. Gotta assume Backdoor Bandits 9's even better.
We're gonna
Right.
we're gonna have to mark this episode explicit.
Well, I didn't cuss. I mean,
No, I know.
and those are 2 great releases. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, right. Classics.
Oh, man.
Total,
So, yeah.
total.
But yeah, I do remember that.
That's funny because I just feel like I always went to probably just Blockbuster or Family Video, I think
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
called.
Family
Right,
Video, yeah, or
yeah.
Hollywood Video or something.
Which
It was-
made me think of, we watched Stranger Things. Do you watch that,
Oh,
Andy?
love it. Yeah.
Okay, so I think we ended up on some episode where they're in the family,
Oh, they're working there.
they're
now.
working
They're
there.
they're
And
like-
Yeah.
yeah.
you know, I don't know, I just was like, it just was bringing back old memories
It
because
does.
it
Yeah.
was really spot on with the old computer system, and they're logging in and the way it looks, and there's these, posters, and I don't know, I just thought it was pretty cool.
Yep, and all 3 video cassettes have been rented out, and we probably won't get those back till after the weekend.
Yeah.
You know, the whole,
Yeah.
Yep.
And the guy's at the counter, and he's like just waiting for hot chicks to walk in. He could care less about his job, and
To tell them how cool Die Hard really is. Or,
just funny stuff, which is kind of cool if you think
Yeah.
about it. It's just memories, because there really isn't that today. Maybe there is again in small towns or in.
Not really. No, those places are gone. Like you can't rent
They're-
DVDs. I don't even like DVDs. Is that even a thing anymore?
I don't know.
Right.
I think I
Yeah.
still see them like in those corner bins in Walmart.
True.
Or, I think the grocery store has them too. You know.
I feel like we have a lot still at home. Just
We
from
have a bunch
back
of
in
old
the
ones,
day,
yeah. Mhm.
and
Yeah.
when we travel, the kids will put that in the
Right.
back
In-
of the
in
head
TV
set.
or whatever.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't think they're really selling much.
It's kind of odd. I always kind of hope for something to happen, like to have the internet get knocked out or something. So then we have to drag out the DVD player and then go through, our 50 old DVDs and be like, oh man, I haven't seen this in forever. But you have to be forced. You have to be prompted into that.
Yeah.
Like something has to happen and your internet has to go down.
We've talked
You
about
know?
this a bunch of times. It to me, I think it comes back down to convenience. Like it's way too easy to just pull up
Yeah.
Netflix or whatever it is and find something than to try to go dig through. And I was thinking about this earlier. Like, could you imagine with what we do today with our lifestyles and the pace that we operate and so on and so forth, that it's Friday evening and we're like, man, we're going to run to town and we're going to hit the Blockbuster and we're going to get all these things and we're going to rent the movie and then we're going to come back and then an hour later now you're finally watching it, or hour and a half
you
later
got to
or
start
whatever.
that process at 6.
Yeah.
But man, wouldn't you appreciate the movie so much more?
That's the thing, though.
What
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And that popcorn's gonna taste good.
Yeah.
You bought it there.
It's so much
Yeah.
more of an experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It all plays into it.
Yeah.
Do you? I do. Do you remember the last thing you rented from Blockbuster?
You remember that?
I do. I didn't go there a lot.
Okay.
But I remember the last thing.
I don't.
I don't either.
What was it?
It was season 1 Chappelle Show.
Oh, I thought you were going to say you went in the back. and got-
Did Blockbuster have a back?
no, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
No, season 1 Chappelle Show. His humor.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a brilliant comedian, and I just that season 1 just blew everyone's socks off. Right. The language he used, the way he would set it up, the jokes, how it was slapstick and all that stuff. And I knew my uncle, who lived in Omaha, would just get a freaking kick out of it. And he did. He's like, oh, my God.
Thought it was hilarious.
I just thought it was hilarious. And he never heard of Dave Chappelle or
Yeah.
even been around that type of humor before.
Was that still? Was it VHS?
DVDs.
It was
Okay.
DVDs.
It was like a 5-disc set or
I don't know if
Wow.
I remember renting a DVD from like a Blockbuster or something like
I
that.
don't know. If
That
we
was
have.
very short-lived.
Yeah.
You know, that wasn't around that long.
Yeah.
And I remember the last thing I bought from a Blockbuster as well, because they started closing in Omaha. Boy, what was that? I don't even know. 2007?
I don't know.
No, 2014 was the last one. Somewhere in there. I don't even know. But they were closing one by one, and I would see the big banners outside. So I ran in there one time because I had a noon hour and I was killing time, and I bought U2's Greatest Hits for like $4. So I got it was a 2-disc set, and say what you will about U2, they got some good songs. All right,
So they were renting music too.
they were selling the CDs that were by the register. They're just selling everything.
Oh,
Everything in
okay.
the store just had
Okay.
to go.
It was
Like
just like
close
add-on
out.
items.
Yeah, so I thought, what the heck? I'll step in here and see what's going on. And yeah, I bought a U2's Greatest Hits for like $5.
Yeah.
So
That's
yeah,
funny.
Yeah, and now CDs are dead too.
We actually have a VHS player still. It we'll operate if we were to pull it out of the bin. But I remember the last VHS I bought you because you used to like back in the day Biodome.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Do you remember that?
That was in
movie?
college, I think.
Yeah, and I had to, I think, get on. They didn't have Facebook Marketplace, but I had to get on probably eBay
Yeah, it probably was eBay. Yeah.
and buy it. And you were like, "Oh, this is so cool." I don't even know
Biodome.
that we
Yeah.
watched it that
Yeah.
much, but
I think we did.
we still have it somewhere. But I'm
Yeah.
like, what?
They didn't allow Pauly Shore to be on DVD.
Yeah,
They just kept him. They just kept him on VHS.
I was gonna say, I don't think I've ever seen that on Netflix or Amazon or anything. I don't even know if that's out anymore. But speaking of VHSs, when we were talking about it, do you remember that? Wouldn't you get a fee if you didn't rewind it?
Oh, really?
Don't you?
I think some
remember
places did
that?
charge that. Yeah.
Okay.
Now,
Yeah,
what
I
a
just-
foreign concept.
so
You know,
crazy.
Just think about even somebody that's 20 years old. Did
To,
you
like,
rewind it? Like,
rewind.
what does that mean?
You had to be kind and rewind.
Yeah, be kind. The sticker that was
Yeah.
on there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
No.
I
Concept.
remember going into those places and they would have like devices that only would rewind.
Uh-huh.
Like really
so they'd like
fast.
just shove them in and shut it down. And ping, yeah. But we were always responsible movie renters.
We were kind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
we would rewind.
speaking of that, do you think a lot of people still use Redbox? Because I remember when Redbox came out, and that was a brilliant concept, but I feel like numbers and those rentals are probably going down just because of all the streaming also.
Has to be.
I would think it's dying or dead.
Okay.
You
Yeah.
know.
I think it's a great idea.
I liked Redbox. That was definitely like the intermediary
Yes.
or intermediate
In
between
Yep.
kind of the rental stores and then the full
Right.
on streaming. Like there was still streaming going on, but there was the movie industry still kept it where you could not get new releases on streaming. So, but you could get them at Redbox. Or you could, I think there might have been some where you could go maybe pay a whole lot of money and rent them on streaming or something. But either way, we did a good amount of Redbox.
Yeah.
Really.
It was
Yes.
super convenient. It was at the grocery store or whatever. You
Yep,
could grab it
yep.
while you were there. They had an app that we could look it up beforehand to
So
see
did
if
they
it was
just
in
spit
stock.
out DVDs then? Is that what it
Yeah.
did?
Or well, yeah.
Okay.
Not DVD. Yeah,
Yeah, it was
DVDs.
DVDs, yeah.
Oh, I was thinking
Or
you said-
Blu-ray.
Yes, yeah,
Yeah, Blu-ray was
so
even
you got
shorter
to
than
pick.
DVDs.
I mean, there's still one
You'd
at
have to pay
Hy-Vee,
like an extra $1 if you wanted the Blu-ray one or whatever.
but you would pull up your phone. I mean, God, we probably even did this 3 years ago.
I feel like Redbox would be very conducive to the back room crowd.
Yeah.
At the video store.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you're
That's
what
there
it's
by
gonna turn
yourself. Yeah. You know. Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
that's where it's at. I don't know.
So you guys have never red boxed?
I have never known.
Okay.
No, I guess just went straight from Blockbuster video rentals to streaming.
Yeah.
Netflix, Hulu,
I
whatever.
really liked how they were set up because of the app. You could actually see what was in that box. Or if there was like a movie that you wanted, you could see like the
Yes.
10 boxes in your 30-mile area.
Oh, wow.
And you could see where that movie
And
was.
you would pick that one, and we
go
would
get
drive
it.
there.
Yeah. And you could secure it on your phone. So then it would be in there, but no one else could rent it for an hour.
Okay. So you
Until
put it
you
on
picked
hold.
it up.
Yeah.
Lay away or
Yeah.
whatever.
I mean, it's a smart
was a great idea.
concept,
Yeah.
but I feel like that is fading.
It is. It has to
It
be.
has to be.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But Netflix people don't own Redbox. Why do I always associate those together? Maybe
Well, I
because
don't
they're
know.
both
Maybe
red.
They
Maybe
are
they're
both
Do you know?
related. Yeah, I don't know.
No?
I don't know.
Okay. You guys are the big researchers, so I just thought maybe you'd throw something
No.
on that. No?
But now it's all on streaming, and,
Yeah.
and the big studios have taken so many of their new releases and put them straight to the app.
Yeah. Well,
So if you have the app, you can.
and Disney started doing that, especially during COVID, just going straight to streaming. Not even the movie theaters are in jeopardy now. Even so, like we're talking about the experience of going to a Blockbuster, the actual experience of going to a movie. That I feel like that's next. That's in jeopardy. And yeah, it's cheaper, it's more convenient. Blah blah blah. To just open up your Disney Plus app and watch the new Frozen 3. Elsa, I don't know what possibly could happen to Elsa this time. So
Yep.
I think it's just we mentioned it like you said earlier. The convenience, man, sometimes can come around to get you. And I mean, we're talking about the experience of just going to a rental store and how fun that was and the anticipation that built up. And for me growing up, that also meant we're going to get some pizza too. We're going to Hot Stuff Pizza. Then we're going to the movie rental. Then we're going home, and we're getting candy. We're getting soda, the whole 9 yards. That was Saturday for us.
Yeah.
Growing up. And if we didn't go to the movie, and now it's just order your pizza out, and it's all on Disney Plus or on Netflix, whatever. You're missing something there.
But I
aren't you?
feel like
sure.
things always come back around, right? I mean, we always say that in time, but what about the whole, like, we missed that. We didn't do the drive-in, right? Okay, so someone first listening, we're 40-ish here. So our parents did drive-in theaters. There are a couple popping up that are around here. There've got to be in other cities and towns. Is that going to be a thing? I don't know. I just feel
Yeah, some of that stuff might come back.
that would be fun. And I've never even been to a drive-in.
Well, and I like what movie theaters are doing. We have one here in town that they serve beer, they serve alcohol, they'll cook and bring it out to you during the flick. So they're offering more, doing different things. And I really like the one just down the street here that they have a freaking bar built into it to where you send your kids to the movie that you don't want to see, whatever it is, some animation thing. You can just hang out and watch the football game. I'm like, okay, these guys are onto something
They've
here.
got it figured out.
Now I can go to the bar, watch my game, and I'm being a good dad, right? Because I'm taking them to the new Disney movie too. Those guys, they got it figured out. So I think you're right, Morgan, where it's coming maybe not back around, but it's just evolving into a way that it will survive.
Yes.
And I think that's a good thing.
Okay.
And if they do it right, like you saw it with the latest Top Gun, the Maverick movie,
Yeah.
where they stuck to their guns and said, we're not putting this out on an app. We're waiting. And that movie came out like a year after it was supposed to?
Yeah.
Because of how all the COVID things shut down.
Yeah.
So they held on to it. That studio held on to it and all that investment they put in it, and then only put it out in theater, and it blew up.
They didn't bend on a lot of things. That movie freaking crushed it. And I haven't even seen it yet.
Yeah.
So no spoilers, you guys.
Yeah.
We haven't seen it either.
but-
No, it's just all all
so
all
bad.
the stuff you hear about it.
Yeah.
But you had Tom Cruise was staunch on we're not compromising this or that, and he's a movie star, like him, love him, hate him, whatever. But he is a movie star, and he's a good-looking guy, So, and he knows what people want. The original Top Gun, that got terrible movie reviews. Everybody hated it.
Oh,
Yes.
Really?
All the critics freaking, and back then, like Siskel Ebert, that was like religion,
wait,
right?
but tell me why they hated it, because we had our kids watch the first Top Gun, and then I will say what they said afterwards. Why was it hated? I didn't know that this was hated.
Unrealistic, over the top, stupid, bad storyline, weak characters.
Okay, so we have a 21-year-old, 17, Joel's 12. They watched it maybe 3/4 the way through. Our oldest, 21, was like, what is the point of this show?
What's the point?
What's being what's going on? What's being accomplished here?
Okay.
Like, what's the plot?
Like,
or
what's the
whatever?
plot?
Right.
And at
Wow.
the end,
Okay.
she was like, there's really no bad guy. There's no, is this a love story?
Oh, wow.
So
she
if you
needed
actually
someone plotted
think
against
about
each other.
it,
Okay.
it kind of put a little bug in my ear thinking, really? I mean, we love it. It's such a good show and such a good movie.
Well,
But if you think about it, what is it?
don't we go? God dang it! Like, don't we go to movies to be entertained? And I mean, that is Top Gun to the T. Like,
I know.
Maverick, Goose, jets.
Yeah.
I agree.
And there's the gets the girl, he shoots the bad guys out of the sky. Iceman, who I'm a big Val Kilmer fan, so screw all you guys. I love Val Kilmer.
Yeah, jeez, come on.
I'm dangerous.
Right. Yes.
I mean, it had all the one-liners, and he beats his rival guy. Like, it had all of it. Like, what are you talking? What more does your daughter want?
I don't know,
For
but
real.
it made me think about it and was like, yeah, there really isn't. And I remember you being like, Iceman, I guess, kind of could be a bad guy, but
Yeah, they all were. And the people in the sky, he had to overcome his issues with
she
his
said it was kind
father.
of cheesy music.
Of course it was.
So,
Well, yeah, and it was way before her.
exactly. So it just kind of made me think of when you had just said that. I thought she was kind of out in left field thinking, but yeah, I guess not.
No, but the producers that made that movie and Tom Cruise had a lot to do with it. He had a lot of input. He thought it was too masculine.
Oh,
And so he actually entered the sand volleyball scene. He's like, we got to tone this down, guys. Way too much testosterone, too many guns, too many jets shooting other jets. And that's Tom Cruise was the one that came up with that scene. And they were like, all right, you might be onto something here. Let's just let Tom have this one.
and that's a scene.
Yeah, that's like one of
Yeah.
the biggest ones. Like
Who plays sand volleyball in
Iconic.
jeans?
in jorts, right?
I
Shorts.
used to do that. You could do a lot of things in jeans.
Oh, well, you still do. You never not wear jeans, but
But this whole conversation kind of goes to where movies are still a big, fun thing, right?
it's
A-
true.
And whether it's going to the theater or going to Blockbuster or something like that, you miss out on a little bit of it. You know, you do.
Yep.
If you're just streaming it and it's just another
Yep.
thing that you're doing on just another night
Yep.
at home.
I'm still
you know.
trying to get my friend's husband. He trained Tom Cruise.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, they live locally,
Oh.
but talked to her a couple times.
Yeah,
Yeah,
get 'em
so
on.
he's a fighter pilot. So,
Get 'em
anyways,
on.
yeah, but
Yeah, it's you go back to the Top Gun thing. Like I said, those guys stuck to their guns and they just stuck with the theater, and
Yep.
it's worked. So
Yeah.
it shows you. My point is it shows you that there's still a hunger for that. Like people still want to do it.
Oh, for sure.
I guarantee if it was on streaming, we would have watched it by now.
oh, for sure.
But the experience just flat out would not have been as cool. And so, in a way, I mean, the people behind Top Gun are not only just selling that movie; they're selling that whole experience because they decided
Oh, for sure.
you're not just going to experience it on your couch.
Yep.
You know?
Oh, those jets roaring by in the theater, you know?
Yeah.
Like you can't replicate that at home.
Yeah,
you know,
you
you
can't.
you just
Yeah.
can't.
And honestly, why we haven't seen it is more of a just booking it in a time thing. We looked
Yeah.
into it. All the seats were taken, obviously, like 2-3 days later, and
Yeah.
then we just
Crushed.
haven't set aside time to go see it, but we
All
need
right.
to.
Double date. We're having a common folk.
There we go. Yeah.
Oh, we need to go see that. But
Yep.
yeah, no, it's interesting how things
Bring your
evolve.
oldest, and I'll tell her what's going on with the plot.
Dang it, she's in Colorado, but it's so
She'll
funny.
probably like the new one.
She probably would.
Yeah, it's it's interesting. Just back in the day, the way
Yeah.
it was, and how it is now, and
That's right, Iceman. I am dangerous. Like, why do I remember that? That's so stupid.
It's
Yeah.
not though. It sticks with you.
yeah. Man, well, I think we kind of made our point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this was just going to be
Yep.
short and sweet,
Yep,
quick.
the nostalgia of the
The blockbuster.
the
Yeah.
Blockbuster, the movie rental store.
Yep, and if there's a little bit of effort to go out there and be entertained, whether it's movies or whatever, go get it done.
Yeah,
you'll
sure.
you'll mean a little bit more to you in the end.
Yeah,
Yeah, take that date out. Can't go behind the curtain and
God,
rent
that
that.
was another big
thing.
thing. I mean, that was a date thing. Like,
Yeah.
It was,
yeah.
but if you think about it, that's probably not a great date.
it kind of.
It's a great date for a guy because then they don't have to talk.
Yeah, yeah.
But us ladies would like to get to know you.
But then you get to look at Tom Cruise and Val Kilmer.
I remember, well,
You got to go in the
okay.
theater, and it was the only place you could go where it was dark, and you do the yawn.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
jeez.
Get your
Yeah.
get your arm around there.
And you're like, oh, let's go see a scary movie. That was literally the last scary movie I've ever seen was with you back in the day because I hate scary movies. But, oh, you just wanted to put your arm around me.
Yeah,
Just lean in. It's
Yeah.
all right.
That's,
So these high schoolers are just missing out,
yep, they are.
right? Is that what you're saying?
They are.
Yep.
They are.
All right, well, it's coming back.
It's
So
coming back.
take me to a drive-in.
Yeah, that'd be fun. I'm down with that.
All right, well,
All right, well, check us out on all of the
Socials,
outlets,
IG,
the
right?
socials. Yeah, we got the Common Folk on IG.
Oh man, we're on Stitcher. We're available on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, anywhere you can find
All the big ones,
podcast.
yeah.
We're there.
Yeah,
all the big ones.
Yeah.
spend some time. Hit the subscribe. Shoot us a message, a review.
No doubt. Yep.
Because we're weekly.
Give us the follow. Yeah, and we're pretty good about it too. We haven't missed a week, so
Yeah.
stay on it. Yes, please.
Yep, it's fun. All right, guys. Well, until next time.
Thanks for
Peace.
listening, folks.